Hi everyone, what we're going to do is we're going to solve some equations from simple ones like this all the way through to complicated ones like this. Right, so let's take the simple one first. This is a simple x with a plus next to it, and the way we're going to do all of these is with pictures. So we're going to start just by drawing x. X can be one box, can be four boxes. We don't know how big x is, so right now I'm just going to draw a box. So there we go, and I'm just going to call that x. I know I've got to add to that 7, so if we think of this as an actual physical thing now, we've got something and I've got to add to it 7, so I'm just going to stick that on the end. Okay, so all together we've got x and a 7, so the whole thing together is x plus 7, and that should equal 13, so I can write that in as well. So my whole x plus my 7 must equal 13. Well, if this part just here, excuse my pen, is just 7, then what we need to do is work out the bit that's left over. And hopefully you've guessed that we're going to take the entire length 13 and we're going to take off this part that's worth 7. Or another way of thinking of it, if I draw this out here as my whole length 13 with the x missing, another way of thinking of it is what number added to 7 gives me 13. Obviously it was 6, and hopefully you can see that x is the same as 6. They're the same thing, same box, so x equals 6. And there we go, x equals 6. Fantastic, that was my addition question. Let's look at a subtraction. Here we have x take away 5 has got to give me 25. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw myself a big box for x. So there we go. And the next part is I've got to take off 5. Well, if I'm taking off 5, I'm not going to add it on at the end. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take it off from the end. I'm going to take off 5. So I'm just going to draw that in as a box, and I've kind of taken it off. So I might even shade that in. Okay, so the whole thing was x, and 5 is the bit I've taken off. I'm just going to make that really clear. Okay, so I've just shown the entire thing is x, but I've taken off 5. And that's going to equal 25. So the whole thing won't equal 25, but after I've taken off 5, that will leave me with 25. So this part here must be worth 25. And now hopefully you can see that x itself must be the 25 plus the 5, x must be 30. Okay, that was subtraction. Let's take a look at multiplication. This time I've got x, but I've actually got 4 x's, so I'm just going to draw 4 boxes with x in. And it's probably worth noting that they're all the same size, so I've got x, x, x and x, all the same size, 4 of them, they're equal to 20. So I'm just going to share my 20 out into the 4 boxes. I can do that by tallying 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on until I end up splitting all the 20 out, or I could just do 20 divided by 4, leaving x is 5. And finally we're going to take a quick look at division. So here I've got x divided by 3 is equal to 6. This line here just meaning divide. So again I'm going to start with a big box for x, sorry, but I'm going to have to divide it into 3. So it would make sense that I use maybe 3 boxes. So here we have x, my whole thing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide that into 3. So just like that. Okay. And the question says here that when I take x and divide it into 3, I get 6. So 6 is going to go in the boxes. Which means my total for x must be 6 plus 6 plus 6. It must be 18. So let's just quickly recap. We've done addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. With addition we had an x and we added something to get 13. But when it was addition, we took away to get the answer. When it was subtraction, we actually added it on to get our answer. When it was multiplication, timesing, we actually divided to get our answer. We shared it out. And finally, when it was division, we ended up timesing it to get our answer. So one of the things you'll notice about solving equations is that we've got the equation and we're always going to work through it doing the inverse operations or the opposites. Thanks for watching. I'll post another one soon where our equations get slightly more complicated.